So I'm just gonna share another newbie tip. Took me a while before I actually realized how to properly do this. I have some object here. Let me see there. You have this model here. You see on the side here, you see there's a bend here, and there's a non-bend here, and then it bends again, non-bend, then it bends, non-bend, bends, and non-bend, and it goes to the bottom. And then at the top you will have another bend that correlates with that. Now, how do you do this when you have to refer to a bend along a line, and that line cannot be cut beforehand? Because if you want to bend along a line, you need to make a line and bend everything in one go. Like here, you see I bent along a line, and then you see the edge is perfectly bent, and then you don't see that they pop out. So how do you fix this? Well, it turns out that Fusion 360 has a little bit of a, I don't know if it's a bug or a feature, but you can cut the line after you bent it, and the internal processing of the bend engine will realize that, oh, I bend here, and because it cut there, I need to jump to the next point where the line continues, and then I sort of skip those points where it bends. Now, how do you do this? Well, it's actually easier than you think, but at the same time it's complicated. So let me just activate the sketch for this one. Here you can see the sketch of the model. And you can see the whole sketch is actually drawn so that the cutouts will be part of the whole sketch. And if I unbend that side, just suppress that bend, you will see that everything is actually cut out and bent like this. And the line I will bend after is this line here. And I will, to have it as close as possible, I will bend for this. This is the innermost edge, and then I will specify 0.01 millimeters bend ratio. And what happens then is that you get a bend that looks like this. But of course it bends everything. And the way to fix this is you need to use the cut tool. So you need to go into edit of the sketch. After you made the bend, you need to go to the edit of the sketch. You need to find the line that you're going to cut. So you select the cut tool, and you see here you want the bend. But this is the opening, so you would want to cut out the bend there. And then you want the thing that's supposed to be standing out to not be bent, so you need to remove. So the line is already bent, and it realized that when you cut out this, it will continue where it belongs on the next part. So you cut out everything here that you don't want to bend until here, and then you see this is the next hole. Cut there, but there are some gaps in between where it should bend, so you leave that intact. And then you cut the next opening, and then you see they have the next part. You cut that. You have to make sure you cut everything, like here in between these two lines, like this, and this, and this. See, I think I have another one here. So this is the bend line. You have to just make sure that you cut everything that you don't want to bend. So scroll down, should not bend, and then should not bend. This should bend, should not bend. Scroll down. This is still part of the object that should not bend, so I cut out that part. This is still the opening. cut out that part. Here I'm on the next one that's supposed to bend, and there's an opening, and then another one where I'm supposed to cut out. See, again, you have a small thingy here that you need to remove. You need to cut that out like this, and then you need to cut this. You have to be thorough, because if you cut wrong, it will bend the wrong, still bend it. So cut this, an opening, and we want to leave this to bend along it. And here's another opening, and inside, not supposed to bend, not supposed to bend, not supposed to bend, and not supposed to bend. Okay, so now I cut out all the parts I don't want to bend, and if everything works like it did before I made this video, it should release those parts that it had previously bent, because it will remember where the lines went. So fingers crossed, when I press finish here, you can see that the openings are showing here. So it's just a sketch, you can see. And if I rotate the model, you can see that the parts I left out have now flipped out. And the parts I left in, like these small ones, they're still there. And you can see the bend ratio is as close as you can possibly come there. And that is how I figure out how to make a part of a bend flip out. But it's important when you do this, you cannot have multiple lines vertically, because as long as you have them there, even if they are dotted lines, or if they are solid lines, or if they are fixed lines, it will not bend. So you have to cut out the parts. So make sure you only bend along one line, and then you just cut out those parts of that line that you don't want to bend after you made the bend, and they should flip out. So I will remove the sketch, and you can see how the model looks now after I remove the bend. And if you look from the side, it will only have a little bit of a cut in here. Should be roughly the same width as the sheet metal itself. So that is how I made it flip out. Thanks for watching.